the only thing I remembered from that day was standing up in the bathroom and everything going black. And that's it. I don't remember anything. I mean, I have memory issues now and everything from that day. And it's, it's affected my whole life. And from, just using that one time, not that I just used it, but using that one time, it affected the rest of my life. And it could have ended my life. I actually broke my back. I fell down the steps at Ravens football stadium and broke my back and got addicted to pain medication. And the pain medication eventually turned into heroin use. And from there, it just was all downhill. I overdosed really bad. And really bad, to the point where I was like, I woke up, not really woke up because I was up, but not mentally, I guess you could say mentally there. I was, for like a month, I was kind of out of it, and they thought I was going to really be brain dead or not brain dead, but like my brain would reset every God, I think it was like, they said every 30 seconds, I'd be like, where am I? Who am I? Like, I didn't know who I was, where I was, anything like that. And it got to the point where they were like, well, she's going to be like this for the rest of her life. And it just after a month, I snapped out of it. And I was like, well, and my first words were, where am I? What happened? And they were like, like any other time that I asked, they, told me. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. And after I kept asking different questions than I normally was asking, they knew that, I was maybe coming back. And but I didn't know who anyone was. And from that point, I was like, I can't do that. I can't, I put my parents through so much just using. And then that on top of it, I mean, gosh, when they came to the house, because I had overdosed at the house, and my father pulled up, they brought me out in a bag. And because they couldn't get the stretcher in there, and my father thought I was in a body bag. And they kind of, were traumatized, obviously, and and he's like, that's the last image that I could have had of you was coming out in a body bag, you know what I mean? And I was like, I can't keep doing this to them. And I had OD before, but nothing like that. I mean, Narcan didn't even really help. They actually had to shock me. So it was, and the only reason they did was because we knew the paramedic. Other than that, they probably would have gave up. It is a lot of work, but then I thought about how much work I put into using and how I would do anything to get that drug, so you should do anything to get clean. And that's kind of how I seen it. I would rip and run and do whatever I needed to get that drug. So you need to do that in recovery also. And the rewards are just as great. I have a car now. I'm able to get a job now and keep it. And, I get a lot more trust from people that are close to me. Even though, it took a long time to get it, I have it now. I have keys to people's houses, and, whereas before they wouldn't even want me in their house because they'd be like, I don't know what she's going to do in my house, so, and that is a lot to someone who, especially in recovery, because, you're trusted, so. It's amazing because, at first you get the second guess and she's probably still using, or anything that happens. It's like you're the first person, I can't find my purse, or I can't find this. Oh, I'll be the first person that they'll come to and ask. And it's like, that doesn't happen anymore because they know that only when I was in addiction and when I was using, was I that person. And for them to realize that now, that that's not who I am, that's who I was, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. and being in recovery, and you know, it's great. It really is. I mean, I can't. It's just, it's not a it's a feeling that, you know, it's hard to explain, but when you've been put down and not trusted for so long, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Well, eventually I will let them know, you know, everything, because I want them to know, and I want them to know how hard it was. I want them to know the struggle that I went through, and that they should never have to worry about Mom ever doing that to them ever, because I was in recovery when I, you know, had her, and I don't want her to think that, because, you know, it's always going to be brought up, and, you know, I am considered an addict, so, you know, I always will be, and I want her to know, you know, that, you know, it doesn't bring anything good. I feel like if I didn't have that injury, that maybe I wouldn't have been taken down that road, because, you know, I never used drugs or anything like that before I had that injury. And, you know, I never even thought about it. And, you know, just keep busy and all that. And I feel like they should never have to worry about Mom using, because I couldn't do that to them. I could not. I would say resilient, I guess, because, you know, I've overcome a lot. And for all the stuff that I've been through, surgeries, injuries, all that stuff, I mean, some people are like, gosh, you're 40 and you've been through so much that, you know, I don't know how you can, you know, how you can just sit there and have such a good outlook on life. I'm like, because my life was almost not here. So, I guess that's the word I could use.